Hi guys, it's Hani here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to show you how to decorate not one but 8 new Christmas cookie designs. To bring you this tutorial, I partnered with AC Moore, and today I will be using Nicole's Kitchen products from cookie cutters, fondant mold. I also picked up a small pouch of satin ice, which is perfect size for a small project like this, and I'm going to put everything in a pretty treat box because I'm giving this to a neighbor. And to make the cookies, I am using my gingerbread cookie dough recipe. You can find the recipe in the description box under the video. First, we're going to make fondant accent pieces. And to make those, you're gonna need silicone mold, fondant, cornstarch, food only paintbrush, and a small spatula. First, we're going to dust the mold with some cornstarch and then shape the fondant into a small ball and press it into the cavity that you want to use. So I'm gonna be using today snowflake and a tree design. Then let it rest for about a minute and then use a spatula and remove the excess. Now carefully, because these are rather small, shake them out of there or use your fingers to get them out. Let them dry for about 3-4 hours and then use pearl luster dust with a dry food only paintbrush. These decorations can be made ahead of time. Store these in an airtight container until you are ready to use them to decorate cakes, cookies, cupcakes. Here are the baked cookies, and to decorate I am using fresh lemon royal icing. I just think fresh lemon royal icing goes really well with gingerbread, but if you don't like lemon you can easily omit lemon and use vanilla or almond extract instead. I'm starting with a tree shape using 15-second consistency royal icing. Use a needle tool or a toothpick to distribute the icing evenly, and then we're gonna have to let it crust. Once crusted, use white royal icing to make the plant pot, and then we're gonna have to let that crust again. Now using brown royal icing, piping consistency, make a design on top of the green. Just add simple swirls. Now it's time to add that pretty white snowflake we made earlier with fondant and finish the flower pot. Let it dry completely and then using gold luster dust, paint the design with food only paintbrush. Second design is a stocking. We're gonna do striped design here. I'm first going to create sections with white royal icing and then we're going to flood every other section with white. Use a needle tool or a toothpick to distribute the icing evenly and then let it crust for about 10 minutes. Once crusted, take tan colored royal icing and ice the remaining bottom part of the cookie. Again, I am using 15-second consistency. Let that crust again and then take red royal icing and fill in the remaining sections. Use your needle tool to distribute the icing evenly. I'm going to let this dry and then take white royal icing, outline the striped portion and dip it into white sanding sugar. To attach fondant decorations we made earlier, we're going to use a little bit of royal icing on the back of the fondant decoration and then gently press it onto the cookie like this. I'm also going to add few curved zigzag lines across, and then we're going to paint with gold luster dust. Another design we're gonna do is a snowflake. Snowflake is probably one of my favorites to do for winter and for Christmas. So first we're going to ice the whole cookie with white royal icing, and then I'm going to let it dry completely. Once the icing is dry, take 10 colored royal icing, about 25-second consistency, and start piping the design onto the snowflake. Let that dry completely, and then using edible luster dust mixed with some lemon extract or vodka, paint the raised design with food only paintbrush. Here we are going to make Santa. So I'm starting with the hat using red royal icing. And again, I am using 15-second consistency here. Using skin tone royal icing. To make the skin tone royal icing, I like to use some ivory, and I also add a touch of pink. Make the face, let that crust, and then make the beard. We're gonna have to let this dry completely, then add a pom-pom and also hem using piping consistency royal icing dusted with white sanding sugar for a little sparkle. Use white royal icing 15 consistency to make the mustache. And then use red royal icing piping consistency and outline the head. Make the eyes with black royal icing and then finish the mustache. Let that crust make the nose and add a little bit of red for the mouth. Don't forget the white eyebrows. Let that dry and then add details with gold edible luster dust mixed with some lemon extract or vodka. This is also a popular design, candy cane. This one is probably the easiest to decorate from the bunch. So we're gonna start with outlining and then also dividing the cookie into sections with white royal icing. Then flood every other section with white. For this you can use icing that is about 20-second consistency. Use a needle tool or a toothpick to move the icing around until it's evenly distributed. Let that crust and then take red royal icing and fill in the sections between. Let it crust again and then take green royal icing and add a line between two red sections onto the white. Let that dry, then take piping consistency white royal icing, outline the whole cookie and then dip it in white sanding sugar. Now we're gonna make Christmas bells, starting with red royal icing, 15-second consistency. Outline and flood one bell, let that crust and then you can finish the second bell. You're gonna have to let that dry and then attach a small fondant snowflake we made earlier onto each bell. Use piping consistency ivory royal icing. And then with green royal icing, make two holly leaves at the very top, and also once you let that crust you can also add 3 red berries. Let it dry completely and then paint the details with gold edible luster dust. Now let's make Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, starting with brown royal icing. Make the top of the head and then take dark ivory and make the bottom. Let it crust and then you can make the antlers. Now we can make the ears, starting with brown royal icing, and then you're just going to add a little bit of ivory just on the bottom edge. Alright, we're gonna have to let that dry and then you can pipe a large red nose. Make the eyes with black royal icing. 2 little hair at the very top. Eyebrows. Nostrils. And a smiley mouth. Now take gold edible luster dust and paint those antlers for a really nice shimmer. Now we are onto the snowman. So I'm starting with the head, using black foil icing, leaving a gap between. Starting with the body, using white royal icing. I'm going to let this crust and then finish the body. Take a red royal icing and fill in the gap between two black sections to finish the head. Now we're gonna make the scarf. So I'm starting with one even layer like this, going all the way across, and then we're gonna have to let that crust. Make two buttons with black royal icing. And now we can finish the scarf. Make the arms with brown royal icing piping consistency. Don't forget the nose with orange. I'm also adding 2 holly leaves onto the head, and also once these are crusted, we're going to add 1 large red berry. Now that everything is dry, we're going to use that edible gold luster dust and add few details onto the head and also on the scarf. And here are the finished cookies. They turned out so cute and they are really doable, guys, so even a beginner can make these. If you'd like to package these and give them to your friends or family, you can use these adorable treat boxes. I also lined the treat boxes with paper doily and then I layered the cookies inside. You can bring these to a Christmas party. Maybe you want to gift these to your coworker who doesn't like a box of homemade cookies, right? So what do you guys think? Which of these cookies is your favorite? Let me know in the comment section down below. I think I'm leaning towards the reindeer myself. I really like the antlers, how they turned out. Anyway, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, a huge thanks goes to AC Moore for sponsoring this tutorial. And for those of you who are new to my YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe and also hit the notification bell button so you get notified about my new uploads. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.